Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, Thursday. So it's nearly Friday. Everybody's more than motivated to looking forward for the weekend. Today's Samanta is with us. Thank you, Samanta, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so she likes to talk about moral perfection. So I say she likes to talk about it.
I like to learn about it, but talking about it, it's basically a coincidence that all the time I'm talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Maybe I need to learn something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Talk about it, something. Practice it is another thing, you know? Yeah. So good to have you guys here. Thank our friends from Ireland, SSI volunteers. I hope you are safe and healthy. And hello, Kaka. Oh, glad you are here. And again, as we already gave the message here, we're going to talk about moral perfection. And we keep going these, and you can find what we're going to talk about. Our talk here is question 816 to 913, 912. So it's all that part. Okay. So hello, our friends from Brazil, from UK. I can see here. We have our friends from America as usual. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to reach you guys there. So in order to start, I will do the initial prayer. So I'd like to invite everyone to calm down, to have a deep breath, raise up your thoughts towards our mentors of the group, mentors of this program, to the mentors of the country we are living in, and ask them to fill us up with hope, with courage, with patience, and with love. Send these good vibrations to all brothers and sisters around the world. Doesn't matter what they are doing, where they are. May these good vibrations reach them. So be it. Amen. Okie dokie. So, my dear, would you like to give a little bit of recap from last Thursday and connect with today's topic, please?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So last week we talked about, of course, more perfection, as you already said. So we talked about mainly chapter 12 from the Spiritist book, part 3. And we started with the question 893, which is the most meritorious of all virtues. So we talked about the virtues, we talked about what is virtue, and if there is any difference between them, if, for example, one is more important than the other. And the answer from the Spirit's book is they are basically all meritorious because all are signs of progress on the path of good, right? So we also talked about how we can build this virtue. So it's basically trying or having a certain resistance, a voluntary resistance to the wrongful tendencies that we have as a human. And also, we also talked about the fact that the highest virtue consists in the sacrifice of one's own interests for the good of one's neighbor, without ulterior motive, so without an agenda. And from there, we talked about chapter 17 in the Gospel according to Spiritism, and this chapter is named "Be Perfect." So there you can find the truly moral. What is a truly moral person, right? So what are the attributes that they have? What are the virtues that they have? So we talked about some of them here as well. And we also talked about question 894 from the Spirit's book. And this question will talk about, for example, some people can be kind and can do good in a very natural way and seamlessly. And we try to understand why this happened. Is this because it's innate for them and they do it without any effort, and because of that they don't have any merit? And the spirits will actually explain to us that it's basically the opposite. So they already struggled with it a lot, and they acquired this ability to respond more naturally to things, and therefore be kind and do good in a more habitual way. So they improved themselves. And we also explained what is in Matthew versicle 6, item 3, and it's 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, something like this. So this is basically from the Sermon of the Mountain from the New Testament, and it explains what God says, what Jesus says about us doing good just for doing good, not because we want to show off what we are doing. And it also talks about not letting your right hand or left hand know what your right hand do, and things like that. And one of the things that struck me when we talked about it last week, and what I learned from our research, was that when you talk about your right hand not knowing what your left hand, the other right, not knowing what your right hand do, is more to do with yourself, because both hands are yours, and it has to do with you doing good and not counting it, not even for yourself. So not using it to kind of reinforce that you are a good person, and not even for yourself when you think, I'm so good I did that. Because when you do it in a more automatic way, you don't count. So when it's a habit, you basically don't count. So we talked about blinking, and that is a habit and a necessity, basically, as well. And we don't even know when we're doing it. So that is the aim. That is the where God wants us to be, right? So where we should kind of head to. And we also talked about the fact that when you do good, it's not a matter of hiding the good that you did, but the doer. So basically, if you do something, you need to show what you did, but not the fact that you did it, right? So that was a very interesting one. And we also, because it is very clear in this passage that Jesus never said anything about not showing what was done. And actually, I found, and then we can start the topics of today. I found in chapter 13 from the Gospel according to Spiritism, and this chapter is actually very interesting because it's called "Do Not Let Your Left Hand Know What Your Right Hand is Doing," right? So it's basically an explanation of this whole thing. And item 2 of this chapter shows that this interpretation is really correct. So it reads, after Jesus had come down from the mountain, a large crowd of people followed him. At the same time, a leper came to meet him and worship him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can heal me. Jesus reached out to him, touched him, and said, I will it. Be healed. In that same instance, the leprosy was healed. Then Jesus said to him, do not tell anyone about this, but go and show yourself to the priests and offer the gift prescribed by Moses, so that it may serve as a testimony to them. This is also Matthew, versicle 8, items 1 to 4. So this shows exactly how important it is to show that the kindness that you did, or the good deeds that is done. Not that you did, because the fact that you did it doesn't really matter here. So it matters what was done, and that needs to be showed so people can see that it's possible, that it's important, that it's necessary, that it's beneficial, and also the results of it, right? So then we go back to the chapter 12, from the Spirit's book, which is Moral Perfection. And after talking about all of those things and how we can do it, and how we can be this truly moral person, now, how can we be kind and charitable? So what exactly do we need to do? And how can we do it? So it's not, today we are going to touch in the how, not anymore in the what, because we talked a lot about the what last week. So going forward, when we think about how we can be kind and charitable, there are some interesting aspects here that we should consider when it comes to possessions, especially, I would say. So our study finds that there are two sides of it, as explained in question 896 of the Spirit's book. So let's just see the question. The question reads, there are selfless individuals who nonetheless lack discernment and who waste their possessions without real benefit because they do not know how to use them reasonably. Will they have any merit? And then the spirits answer, they have merit for their selflessness, but not for the potential good that they could do. If selflessness is a virtue, thoughtlessness, squandering is always, at the very least, a lack of judgment. Fortune is not given to some to be cast to the wind, any more than it's given to others to be locked up in a safe. It is a deposit for which they will have to render account. They will have to answer for all the good they could have done but did not do, and for all the tears they could have dried with the money they gave away to those who were not actually needy. So this question is, I think, very aligned with the parable of the the parable of the talents, when Jesus gave, the owner of I don't remember all the details, but the owner of the land or something like this gave to his workers some amount of money. They didn't give it equally to them, but each one of them did something different with the money. And one of them did nothing with the money because he was afraid of losing it. So he only received 1 talent, or the money, or, it could be anything. So he only received 1, and he didn't do anything with it. And the others invested, or they actually made it grow by the actions that they took with the talent. And then this one person did not do anything because he was so afraid of losing it, and having had his landlord, or I'm not sure whatever it was, a pastor, or I don't know, I don't remember the story very vividly, but when this owner returned, he said to him, look, you didn't do anything with it. You should have done something with it. So you have a talent. You should not waste your talent. And then he took the talent from this worker. So basically, what is being said here with this parable is you have a duty. And some people would not be attached to money or material things, which is a good thing, as the answer from the Spirit shows us, from the point that they are not attached to it that much. So there is this benefit, but at the same time, they are not using it as it could have been used for the benefit of others, to construct something that could also have a benefit in the community. So it is really interesting, I think, this point of view, because sometimes you think that, if let's say someone comes and steal it, that's fine, because I'm not attached to it. But actually, you should be responsible for that. So there is this side which I wanted to show and to talk about, but there's also kind of the opposite of it as well, which is to be very attached to material things, right? And if we go to chapter 6 of the Gospel, it explains to us what to do in this regard. So basically, we need to know how to use our wealth well when we have it, and do not accumulate just for the sake of accumulating it. We need to know how to dispense of them when there's no need for them, in the sense that you should be happy when, for example, say you don't have the money to buy that expensive car. You basically don't need this car. So you need to think, do I need it? Is it really, really important? So if it's not, just be okay with it. Be okay with the fact that you can't afford it. And also, the third thing would be to know how to give up of it when it's necessary. So you have something, but someone else needs it more than you. So you could just give up of this thing that you have and give to this other person. And just to conclude this part, I think it's interesting how in the book, item 9 of the Gospel, so item 9 of this chapter is called True Ownership. And it says, humans truly possess only what they can take with them from this world. What they find upon arriving and what they leave behind upon departing, they can only enjoy during their stay. However, since they are forced to abandon it, they can only enjoy it and not truly possess it. What then do they truly possess? nothing that is for the use of their body, but everything that is for the use of their soul, intelligence, knowledge, moral qualities. These are what they bring with them and what they take back. What no one can take from them and what will be more useful for them in the other world than in this one. It is up to them to be wealthier upon departing than they were upon arriving, for their future situation will depend on whatever good they have acquired. Whenever people go to a far-off country, they place in their luggage objects that will be useful in that country. They do not carry anything that would be useless. Therefore, do likewise regarding a future life, and provide yourselves with everything that will be of use to you there. And so I found all of those things very interesting, and I would like to know as well, Stevan, what you think about all of those things.
Well, I like to start with a sentence from Paul of Tarsus. This is in the Romans 7:15. For what I am doing, I do not understand. For I do not practice what I will to do, but I do the very thing I hate. In other words, I know what I have to do, but I don't do it. And I hate what I'm doing. So we know the right thing. We know how to behave, how to treat, but we don't do it. And always we're gonna find an excuse. Always we're gonna find an excuse. Oh, because I will do it tomorrow. Oh, I will do this the other day. Always gonna find an excuse. So how we need to balance ourselves. I think that's the questions. The question we need to ask to ourselves. I'm not saying we're gonna be perfect. No, we will not do the right thing, but we need to have the willing to at least start doing the thing. We need to give the first step. If you won't do the first step, like in this incarnation, we will die in the upcoming ones. But the question to you guys now, why we don't start doing this first step today, in this incarnation, if you already know what you have to do? It's a long journey with a lot of barriers to overcome, with a lot of, let's say, disappointment with ourselves and with the people who are surround us. It's not just us, because we like to act as a judge. I like to go to question 903 of the Spirit's book. And Kardec asked to the spirits, is it wrong to study others' defects? Because we are PhD in finding the mistakes of our neighbors. No, we have PhD or master degree. We have all these degrees to find a mistake, a problem, a defect on someone else. And the Spirit said, if it is for the purpose of criticizing and divulging, then it is wrong, because it displays a lack of charity. If it is with the intention of applying it to oneself in order to avoid the same defects, it may be useful. So, may. So, in other words, we can use we can use others as a mirror, saying, oh, they run to that path, I'm gonna avoid this. Or I will do this instead of doing that because I know someone else already used that way and did not succeed. But we needed to understand that we are always in a judgment position. We always like to say, oh, why Samanta didn't take the right instead of left? Was easy. It's easy for us because we are seeing the problems from outside. But perhaps for Samanta, she's leaving the problem. This is affecting her. Is a barrier she needs to overcome. She cannot see it. And instead of us helping her to see that in a different way, what do? We criticize her. It's again another story. If you turn on the TV, on the newspapers, okay, Linda is saying sound cuts off. Okay, are you listening me fine, Samanta?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you good as well. So I don't know if it's just for Linda, but looks fine. Looks fine from our end here, Linda.
If someone else could just let us know if they are also having problems.
Please let us know.
Just so.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, so what I was saying is, instead of criticize someone. Okay, thank you, Ludmila. Thank you. Dawn says okay there. Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, let's keep going. What I was
just very quickly, Stevan. Linda, I had this problem last Sunday. I was trying to watch from Facebook and I couldn't for some reason. So perhaps if you go to YouTube, our channel on YouTube, we are also broadcasting there. And if you want to try that way as well, if you're still experiencing problems, just let us know if you need anything from us here.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was saying is we needed to stop to judge someone else's actions, and we need to help more. Help them to overcome, help them to see perhaps another way. We needed to act like saying we don't have the charity in ourselves. We know what is charity. Again, Romans 7:15. We know what is charity. We know what charity is used for, but we don't practice charity. I'm saying charity in the words, I'm saying in the real word, what it is charity. Charity is help the other by donating yourself. And it's not just a position of giving money. If you will give money, you gave. Don't keep asking yourself, oh, what that person gonna do with the money? No, you gave the money. So you did your part. Up to that moment is that person who received the money problem. But no, we want to control. And sometimes you say, oh, I will not give you money because they're gonna buy drugs, they're gonna buy whatever things, And sometimes that person doesn't need money. They just need someone to listen them. They just need someone to even not talk. But we sometimes avoid to talk to those people. And charity is not doing to those unfortunate brothers and sisters. Charity is doing to someone beside us, to your son, to your daughter, to your husband, to your wife. How many times you talk to them freely without judging? This is very common in marriage. Now when especially with the man, and like when the wife comes to talk, you already no, you already start to guess what she's gonna say, and you try to give an excuse. So let's listen more, guys. And I think that's all for me regarding what you said.
It's very interesting what you're saying, because question 912 talks about it. So it asks, what is the most effective means of fighting the predominance of corporeal nature? And the answer from the spirits is practicing self-denial. And self-denial is exactly what you said, is doing good without waiting for anything in return, right? So it is actually interesting, because I went to Wikipedia because I wanted to know what is exactly the definition of self-denial, because I think what happens with a lot of these terms is that we have this pre-concept of them. And sometimes I like to read from the dictionary or from Wikipedia or something, the definition, so I can maybe broaden my own perception of whatever it is that I'm thinking of, or I'm trying to understand. And in Wikipedia, for example, self-denial is an act of letting go of the self, as with altruistic abstinence, the willingness to forego personal pleasures or undergo personal trials in the pursuit of the increased good of another. And from the dictionary, it says self-denial is the habit of refusing to do or have things that you would like, either because you cannot afford them or because you believe it's morally good for you not to do them or have them. So it's basically what you explained to us. So we need to do good with the other person in mind, not ourselves. And it's not easy. It's like going to the gym. We know that we have to go, but not always we do. And most of the times we don't. So it's a very interesting trait of our humanity, I would say. We are like that. And that's why in the spirit books it says it's a voluntary resistance of the wrongful vicissitudes, or the wrongful innate nature that we have. So we have it. It's just the way we are. It's the way we are wired. And we need to try and voluntarily resist to those things, resist to those impetus feelings sometimes, or sometimes even laziness. It could be a lot of things. It could be, and even when we talk about money and things that we possess, giving them to other
This
people.
is difficult.
Yeah, so we have responsibility of them, as the spirits explains to us in the spirit book, or for them we have responsibility for them, but at the same time we need to use it properly, and use it properly. You need to, and this is so interesting. I found it so interesting when I read about it, because like, I have my struggles as well, and sometimes I want to do things, and I need to think, is this really useful for me? It's not that you don't, like, you don't have to have pleasures in life, or you shouldn't be spending your money on traveling or anything like that. It's not. It's just that the excess is the point here. The excess is the problem. So sometimes we think, so say for example, you go to a shopping mall and you want to buy a gift, a birthday gift to somebody, and you buy one little thing for that person, and, like, a whole basket of something else for you. It's not that it's a big problem, but we need to watch for those things. Do you really need all of those things? And you went to the shopping mall to buy a birthday gift for somebody else, and I'm saying that because I did it. I have done it.
How many times we go to the supermarket to buy bread and milk and come back with bread, milk, ham, cheese, veggies, and a lot of things we don't need.
You don't need, and some of them will not even benefit
exactly
us, some ways. So yeah, well, I learned to freeze things, which was good for me, because I have this tendency of buying too much in the supermarket, and I always have to watch myself. So just to show, with little things, how difficult it can be. And also, I was talking to a friend the other day, and he was like, what do we do to be good? Something like this. He was also asking me, what do I do? In that sense. And my answer to him was, you could do good in so many ways. Like, a smile is a good thing that you do for somebody, as you said, listening to people is also something. When your parents call you, just giving them the right attention, the due attention, this is being good. Like, this is being humane. This is being a good son or daughter. This is being a good. There are other things, like don't throwing litter on the streets. It's just you being a good citizen, and it's all important. So it's not only about giving money, or it is important as well, because there could be things that you like. You can't be there in person to help, so perhaps money could help them, and money is also necessary. So it's a way, but it's not the only way, and there are so many other things we can do. So
I would say something. It's like on the question 911, when you talk about okay, Linda saying perhaps the problem is in her end. Okay, the excess. It's well said about the excess. Our problem is the excess, and another problem we have, one is excess, and the other one is, according to question 911 of the Spirit's book, there are many who say, I want to, but their will is only on their lips. Is the diet we're going to start on Monday? It is the course I will start next semester. It is the phone call I will make to my mom, my friend. So we want a lot of things. We can say a lot of things, but we don't act according to our mouth. So we need to act more and say less. Like simple things. Go to the supermarket, do a shopping list, grocery list. Stick to that list. It's an action you can do. If you start a diet on Monday, don't start on Monday. Start today. Why you have to wait until Monday to start a diet? You start today. So this is a simple task we need to work in ourselves, and being consistent, being more not trustful, more reliable to ourselves.
Yeah, follow through.
This will make you improve as your moral. As people see you, you will be connected with, again, everything in the world is connection. So you will be more connected with higher spirits. You will be more focused. So those who has like mediumship will be more controlled, will exercise a more controlled mediumship. Those who are with like a not controlled mediumship, you will start to know yourself. So it's we are talking here about a grocery shopping list and how this is gonna affect ourselves. And to be honest, guys, this lady here, she knows precisely. She does the schema. She do a lot of charts. She's a top in doing all these things. And just say,
Don't know about that.
you do it. You cannot deny.
Yeah, I do. I'm very methodic. But anyway, I think that while we were talking about all of those things, I was thinking, how guilty I am of all of those things. It's just so difficult. And one important thing, and I talked about it in one of the speeches that I gave in the Spirit Center, how important it is for you to take your time and do things on your own time. Don't push yourself too much. So I was about happiness, right? So I'm doing this course, very interesting course. I think I talked about this course before. So it's a course from the University of Yale about the science of happiness. And one of the things that they talked about is that for you to experience happiness, like happiness is not a forever thing, it's like when you have a tire and then you have some, like when it's kind of empty, you just bump it and then it's full again, right? And with time it will lose air, and then you pump it again and it's full again. So happiness is kind of something like this. And one of there are many ways of having these bumps in our lives. And one of the things, they could be, you could be happy at work, you could be happy going to the gym, you could be happy in something that you do with your partner. So those moments. And what is interesting is that what they did a research and they discovered that when people are more happy or happier is basically when they are experiencing something that is challenging enough for them, and they are using. So you could think that I'll be really happy when I am on my pajamas, in my blankets, watching Netflix. And it's not exactly what the science shows. So what the science shows is that you could think that, and it's very interesting because they talk about how much our predictions are wrong, and not that is not something I should do. So you need to do the class so you can understand it better. Unfortunately, we don't have too much time for me to explain all of those things. But one of the interesting thing that I wanted to bring here is that you need to be doing something that is challenging enough so you can use your skills, you can feel useful, and you're also excited because you're doing something that you're good at. But it needs to have the right amount of challenge, because if it's too challenging, then you're feeling bad, you're depressed. It's not.
Yeah, set achievable targets.
Exactly. And they also talk about goals, having goals, how important it is for our happiness. But what I wanted to say with this is basically just make an analogy. Because we were saying all of those things. We need to do that. We need to do that. We need to be like this. You need to, be perfect, and all of that. And we know how to do it, but we don't do it, and all of that. So it is difficult. So the analogy that I want to make is with this thing, and this example of how or when you feel most happy. So for you to improve, you need to do things that can be challenging, but that won't kill yourself. Because if it does, then, first of all, you give up. If you go to the gym and if you be there for 4 hours exercising, you'll be exhausted. You're going to hurt yourself, and you're never going to come back, right? So, so it's just like, it's basically, as you said last week, baby steps. Go easy on yourself. Do something. Don't be stagnated. But, try to find this balance, this right balance, so you won't hurt yourself. Because I don't think, and this is my personal impression, I don't think God wants that. I don't think so. So he wants us to be careful and to be, loving with ourselves as well. And he understands. For him, we have the whole eternity, and he's not worried, not at all. So it's important, but at the same time, you need to be careful while doing it, so you won't hurt yourself or hurt other people.
Yeah,
or push too much.
It is interesting what you're saying, Samantha, because one day I was giving a fraternal gathering, and this person she was a kind of complaining.
Stevan, can I just say one little thing before you continue? I just would love to hear what people think. So if they could also let us know what they think about everything that we are saying, that would be amazing. We just want to know if we are in the right path, if we're not saying anything, too stupid here or anything like that. So we'd love to hear your thoughts as well, guys.
Just us talking here. But what I was saying is, one day I was giving a fraternal gathering here, and here in Ireland, guys, most of the people who are here, they are like young people. They just want to come to Ireland, make some money, do a kind of Euro trip, and this lady came to me and said, "Hey, I don't know if I'm with depression. I don't know what's happening." I said, "Okay, tell me the story." And she said, "Well, the problem is the 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 sugar cup." I said, "Problem is the sugar cup? What's wrong with the sugar cup? You know, if the problem, what's wrong with the sugar cup?" The problem is because when I was in Brazil in my parents' home, the sugar cup was always filled up. And here, when it's empty, I need to fill up. I need to go to the grocery store. I need to buy, I need to fill up. I need to go to work, make money in order to buy sugar and fill up the cup of the sugar cup. So this lady was facing the reality at that time. And she had a great opportunity to face these and overcome these. And this change, when we start to explain her that she's facing a new world, it's opportunity to know herself, is opportunity to her to find out what she likes, what she doesn't like. It's opportunity to know other people, you know, to have control of the life. And already being here, she gave the first step. And she needed to give like to her some treats. She needs to go to somewhere. When she achieved a goal, I bought like I fill up 10 sugar cups. So now I deserve a weekend somewhere, especially here in Europe. We have a Ryanair at the old times, you know, with like 10 euros, 20 euros, you can go to Belgium, you can go to Italy, you can go to a lot of places. So I said to her, set goals with the sugar cups. Try to make this and give some pleasure as a compensation for the efforts you are doing in order to keep up. So that's what we need to do to our life. We just work. Set some goals. That's what we need to do to ourselves. I need to do myself because I'm not doing this. But we need to do it. And I'm so glad we talk about it today, because I was needing to I was the one needed to listen to these and say, hey, I need you to set some goals here. So, guys, we have 3 more minutes, and you are so quiet. We have 15 people watching us, and just Samantha and I are talking here. So, Samantha, your next step is set some goals for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so...
Oh, I have a bunch of them already. I just need to be, and in my case, I'm better at setting goals, but at the same time, I'm not as good as following them. So that's something I need to do.
I have my goals, but I need this lockdown over in order to fulfill my goals. You know, like I need to.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dawn is very
Okay,
funny.
yeah, she's wonderful. I agree with you.
No, I'm not. No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
she's
He
wonderful.
is being
I
kind.
really agree with you, Don.
He is
Yeah,
being kind.
yeah. I
He's
told
funny.
you. Yeah,
No, Dawn. He's
yeah.
so kind all the time.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think that's it for today, guys. Let's talk about next week. Next week we keep going in this chapter where we'll talk more about like selfishness and the characteristics of a moral person. So we keep going talking about this moral perfection.
What a huge topic.
It is. The Spirit's book chapter is long. We're just picking some, in our view, important topics. Of course, if you read it, you may find some other interesting topics as well. Okay, Don say it's a very interesting topic, and you are doing it justice. Good job. Thank you, Don. Thank you. We're just trying to make this, translate this in a simple and simple words and in our daily lives tasks. It's like putting this in practice. That's what our intention here. But anyway, thank you very much. So again, next week, selfishness and the characteristics of a moral person. Okay, so again, we do have our Sunday talk, so don't miss it. And I can say this Sunday talk is this lady here.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
It is her.
So I guess I have a lot to learn.
Yeah, so this Sunday talk is Samanta's talk. So enjoy it. And next Tuesday we are here, Wanderlei and I. And Thursday, let's see, Samanta gonna join us if she can, if her schedule allows it. She's more than welcome. Nate as well. So we have a brave team here. So I think that's it for today. Also, for those who want to join us, Nate and Tanya Moore for the Spirit's book study. Both run a study group every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Irish time. And they, in order to receive the link, you need to send an email to spiritismisland@gmail.com, and Nate will send you the link. And an important message here, guys. This Sunday, we will change our clock here. So next week, for you guys in America, we will go back to our normal time. So we'll be online 1 hour earlier compared to your time. So next week and Sunday talk, starting with Sundays, Samanta talks, we will broadcast 1 hour earlier compared to your time now. Okay, so we will change our clock this Sunday. That's important one. Okay. Yes, Don. Yes. I will see you again now in 45 minutes with Charles, Nadia, and Elsa. And today we're going to talk about the objectives of mediumship. It's really good. We prepared something very special about this series of mediumship. And in 45 minutes, we'll be online again. Okay? So, thank you. Samanta, if you don't mind, can you do the final prayer for us?
Sure. Yep. So let's close our eyes if you would like to, if you feel comfortable. Let's relax, raise our thoughts to Jesus, raise our thoughts to our dear God, to our dear spiritual friends, to our dear mentors. Let's thank them for our lives, for the opportunity to be here, for everything that we learn every day. Ask them for help. We have so much yet to do and to improve and to learn. So we ask for their help, for their intuitions, for we know that they are with us. So we also acknowledge that a lot of times this movement, we know it's a two-way movement, and we need to do our part a lot of times, and we don't. So we need to reach out more. You know you're there, and we thank for your presence, for your kindness, for all the help that we receive all the time. We appreciate everything that you do for us. Be with us, every single one of us here on earth and everywhere. We know that Earth is a very special place and a very challenging one. So we thank for the opportunity, and we ask for your contributions in our path to perfection, or on our path to perfection. Thank you so much. So be it.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks, Samantha, for your time.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
see
you,
you guys.
guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you all. Bye.